A surprise twist today in the Kwame Kilpatrick saga as a judge puts a halt on his return back to Detroit. Kwame Kilpatrick was set to return to federal court in Detroit later this month for a hearing.
Well, now it looks like the former mayor won't be leaving the El Reno Correctional Facility in Oklahoma after all. Defender Kevin Dietz here now with more on what happened.
Yeah, this whole ordeal is about a restitution bill that Kwame Kilpatrick cannot afford to pay. Kilpatrick wants to pay less. The feds want him to pay more. Instead of a showdown in court, the feds agreed to lower the number. Kwame Kilpatrick's field trip to Detroit is off. The judge canceling a restitution hearing that would have brought Kilpatrick back to the very courtroom he was convicted in 2013. Kilpatrick is 4 years into a 28-year federal prison sentence being served in El Reno, Oklahoma. The former mayor has been fighting to lower his restitution bill to Detroit, originally dropped from $4.5 million to $1.6 million. The Court of Appeals put the number at $1.5 million, and today prosecutors agreed, eliminating the need for Kilpatrick to come to Detroit for a hearing.
This is only about fixing a number and not about collection.
The Court of Appeals ruled, quote, that the restitution calculation was erroneous and should have been based more specifically on the Water Department's loss rather than on Kilpatrick's gain. In a separate issue, Kilpatrick is representing himself in a motion asking Judge Nancy Edmonds to vacate his racketeering conviction and set aside the prison sentence so he can go free.
The government has to file a response, and the judge is then going to make a decision, and I'm not going to give odds on these kinds of things at the present time.
Kilpatrick claimed, quote, the jury was given incorrect use of the definition of official act. There was insufficient evidence he committed an official act and may have been convicted for conduct that was unlawful. Kilpatrick also said, quote, the court erred when it denied his request and motion for a new trial counsel. The federal appeals court has denied Kilpatrick. Now Judge Edmonds must decide if Kilpatrick's arguments are valid. Kilpatrick is not happy with any of this. He wanted to come to court in Detroit and convince the judge that he should not have to pay any money to the city of Detroit. In this next few days, his attorney will file a new motion saying Kilpatrick deserves that day in court and ask that a new hearing date be scheduled. Devin?
So I guess where we are now, I guess he can still try to convince the judge on the sentence, but other than that, we're pretty much down to something like a presidential pardon is his last avenue.
Yeah, all his appeals have been exhausted. He is done. If he doesn't get the judge to change her mind or pardon, he's going to serve 24 more years in prison.
That's it. All right, Kim.